Bonjour tout le monde. Aujourd'hui, c'est lundi, le 18 octobre. Couple of important announcements for this week, perhaps the most important one. Some of you have late work from all the way to the beginning of the quarter. I will not accept anything. I cannot accept anything after Friday. So please, 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 if you have anything up to this point you haven't turned in, or up to the point of Friday that you haven't turned in, I need you to get it in, because if you don't, it's going to be a 0 permanently. So just make sure you take care of that. If you have any questions, contact me and I will help you through that. Also, when you turn in that stuff, make sure you fill out a late work form, one form for each assignment, so that I know to go back and look for it. And also, when you're looking for what you're missing, please make sure that you don't look in Schoology. I don't put grades in Schoology. You have to go to Power School instead. Okay, cette semaine, this week, we have a mot de passe that is new, but very similar to last week's. Il y a deux discussions. The first one will be today. Il y a une nouvelle vidéo de TPR, so I'll be doing some new gestures, actually as part of this video, and putting it on the slide with those gestures later on. La chanson de la semaine, our song of the week, is the same as last week, so keep practicing with those numbers. You will have la traduction from last week's personne spéciale, who is actually une grenouille, a frog, so not exactly une personne spéciale, but you'll need to use our write and discuss from last week when we built this character to do that traduction, translation. You'll have a flip grid or meet participation as usual. We're going to have our story about La Grenouille this week, so that will also be something you have to put into your notebook. That will be on Wednesday, mercredi. We're going to have a quiz on that, probably more like jeudi, Thursday. And then finally, this is something you should have been working on since the beginning of the quarter, but you will be submitting your assignment with 5 quick writes. I'll talk about that momentarily. Then weekly check-in and Mazi. Okay, aujourd'hui c'est lundi le 18 octobre et le mot de passe est j'ai besoin d'un stylo. J'ai besoin d'un stylo. Un stylo. Un stylo. Un stylo, obviously a little bit different than un crayon, which we learned last week. So, j'ai besoin d'un stylo. Aujourd'hui dans l'histoire, c'est le 18 octobre, l'anniversaire de Catherine Ringer, une chanteuse. Okay, chanter, la 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 la. Chanteuse, une personne qui chante. Alors, une chanteuse, singer, est une des 2 personnes qui font les Rita Mitsuko. Okay. Elle est chanteuse, elle chante, et elle est dans un groupe musical, a band, qui s'appelle les Rita Mitsuko. Elle est née en 1957. Donc, quel âge a Catherine Ringer aujourd'hui? Elle est née en 1957. A little bit of math there. Son père est juif et il a vécu dans 9 camps de concentration pendant la Seconde Guerre mondiale. Okay. This is like, it's related to question numéro 2. Un camp de concentration, you can probably figure out, is a concentration camp. La Seconde Guerre mondiale, World War II, or the Second World War. Son père, her father, est juif, et il a vécu, he lived, dans 9 camps de concentration. So given the word camp de concentration, can you figure out what juif means? It's a word that describes son père, her father. That's question numéro 2. And please, please, please use the context. Give me your best guess instead of just looking it up on Google. That's how you learn. Elle a chanté avec son mari, Fred, jusqu'à sa mort en 2007. Elle a chanté, this is the past tense, so she sang avec son mari. Le mari de quelqu'un is that person's husband. Mari, like the person somebody else is married to. The word for wife is a little bit different, but that's how you can remember husband. Son mari, Fred, jusqu'à sa mort, until he died, mort, en 2007. Okay, voici un lien, a link to une chanson. It is out there. I hadn't seen this before. I have a colleague who helps put these together, and this is one I was not familiar with, this slide. So the song, it's very, very 80s and very, like I said here, unique. So give it a shot, take a look, but if you don't like it, I totally understand. Okay, voilà, Catherine Ringer, bon anniversaire. Okay, weekend talk pour aujourd'hui. So we are going to open up Jamboard. It's the same one as last week, but with a different pardon. First slide. Alors, ce week-end, je suis allée. Je suis allée, c'est I went. I went. Je suis allée. Où, where est-ce que tu es allé ce week-end? Je suis allée au restaurant, par exemple, à 54th Street, ou McDonald's, ou Olive Garden, etc. Je suis allée au cinéma pour voir un film. Je suis allée, my picture here, à la maison. So maybe you just went home, à la maison, after school vendredi, and that's where you stayed. Je suis allée au match de football américain. Au match du football américain. Le football américain, football as we know it in the U.S., as opposed to le foot, soccer. So that would have been vendredi soir, Friday evening. Okay, so same as last week. Make a little text box. You're going to come over here, click on the text box, put your name in it, and drag it over to whichever answer applies to you. And then mercredi, on Wednesday, when you go to make your Flipgrid, or when you come to our live meet, you'll be answering that question. Je suis allée au cinéma. Je suis allée à la maison, etc. Okay. TPR. La classe se lève. La classe se lève. La classe s'assied. La classe s'assied. La classe danse. Danse. La classe sourit. Sourit. La classe pleure. Pleure. La classe joue. Joue. Joue, remember, means play. And I gave you a different gesture before, but I'm changing it to this because it's more obvious that we're playing a guitar. Sorry, you can't see my hand. That we're playing a guitar. The previous gesture was not quite as obvious. La classe mange. Mange. Okay, new one. La classe saute. La classe saute. Jumps, sautes. If you've ever sautéed something in a pan, you make the vegetables or whatever you have in the pan jump. That's what that comes from. Sauter means to jump. La classe touche les cheveux. La classe touche le bras. La classe touche la hanche. La classe touche le coude. Okay, new one. La classe touche la jambe. La jambe, leg, la jambe. Et puis les couleurs, these should be pretty familiar to you now. La classe touche l'orange. La classe touche le rouge. La classe touche le bleu. La classe touche le violet. Okay, so practice with those a little bit. A few of them will definitely be used in our story this week. Les nombres, as I said before, make sure you know those numbers, 20 jusqu'à 50. And then finally, you have la traduction. Nothing new here. You are going to be taking our personne spéciale, the frog, la grenouille from last week, and doing the translation for that and uploading it. Okay, c'est tout pour aujourd'hui. That is it for today. Au revoir tout le monde.